Hi, I'm Ellen and I am the Manager of Education here at Melbourne Masterclasses. So I began playing the violin when I was 5 years old. It's a bit of a funny story actually because my mum was learning the violin as an adult and she would head next door into the lounge room to do her practice. And my twin sister and I would always bang on the door and harass her and harass her and harass her to have a go. So she eventually thought, oh, I've got to do something about this and get the girls some violin lessons. So along we go with mum to her violin lesson, and we're both handed this little violin and we learnt Twinkle Twinkle, and I stuck at it, loved it to this day. My sister unfortunately did not have the same reaction. She cracked it after she could not master Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and the following week she was learning piano. So I do feel somewhat guilty for stealing the violin away from my mum, but I hope she thinks that it's been worth it. I don't think there was ever a specific point in time where I chose that I was a musician all of a sudden. I think it was something that evolved, especially for me throughout high school. I was a really keen sports fan and I played netball all through my formative years. And then there was this one concert in particular where the Orchestra Victoria Move workshop came down to Hamilton, and we performed in the Hamilton Performing Arts Centre, and they had me sitting in the concertmaster chair. And this was in about 2011, so I was about 16 years old. And that concert finished, and it was just sort of at that end note where you're holding your instrument up, you've finished everything, and you hear the applause of the crowd. And I think that the feeling that I got in that moment, it made me realize that it's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I think that it's a feeling that I never got from winning a grand final with my teammates in sport. I think that there was definitely something to be said about that moment, and all of a sudden I think that I became a musician, maybe. My happiest musical memory. This is a really tricky one because there's been so many, and I know it sounds like a bit of a cliche, but for me, I think I'm happiest when I am playing music with other people. And in university, when I was playing in a string quintet with my best friends, we were learning the Schubert cello quintet. And I think the rehearsals, the amount of fun that we had in the rehearsals learning that quintet, and the feeling that we got all together after we had finished performing it was something truly special. So I think performing the Schubert quintet with my best friends at university is definitely up there as one of my happiest musical moments. Also, having the opportunity in 2014 to travel to New York and study the violin again with some of my best uni friends, that's also up there as one of my favourite moments. I think that it would be easy for me to list off a number of famous musicians and all of the reasons as to why they inspire me the most. But I think the musicians that have really inspired me in the end are the ones that I've learnt from. So there are two particular musicians that come to mind: Elizabeth Sellers, who I studied with throughout university, and Bobby McIndoe, who I studied with all throughout my secondary schooling years. I think that their teaching methods and the way that they went about educating me and inspiring me was really something that I take into my own teaching room and pass on to my own students. And I'm very thankful for their influence. And I guess they are musicians, but I would have to say that my students, they are definitely the reason as to why I do what it is that I do. I care so much about bringing a really positive musical experience to their lives, and seeing them get something and seeing them enjoy what they are doing with their music is incredibly inspiring. This one's really hard. A non-musician who inspires me. I think the biggest non-musical influence on me in my own life has been my dad. He is one of the hardest working people I have ever known, and he has never, I'm getting shaky, he has never wavered. He's never sacrificed his family for his work, but he's been incredibly successful in everything that he's pursued. And he's really shown me what hard work looks like, and he has given our family everything and more that we could ever want. I think that my favourite thing about music is its ability to speak a language that is universal. It can also portray what you're feeling inside to other people without having to say a single word. And you can move an entire room full of people just by making sound here. And I think that that's incredibly powerful. And above and beyond anything else, I think that that's what I love about music. What am I excited for here at Melbourne Masterclasses? Working with you two Muppets? No, I think that I think here at Melbourne Masterclasses we bring a really fresh new perspective on fun and engaging music education, and it's something that I personally am incredibly passionate about. And I think that getting out there and showing others how passionate we are about what we do is something that's driving me and the rest of us here at Melbourne Masterclasses every day. So I'm really looking forward to getting out there, showing people what we've got, and sharing our love and our passion for music.